Bryan, welcome to your opponent, the World Heavyweight Champion. And of course, Wade Barrett, Jericho's NXT rookie. He's from Manchester, England, 6'5", 265 pounds. A former bare-knuckle fighter. Seems to have many of the same traits as Chris Jericho. Will they get along? Gonna be interesting to find out.
Flower looks a little funky. It's a little weird. See the flower guy's jacket pull?
Maybe about the flower. I want to see what he can do in the ring. This Mr. Barrett. But we're going to see the new World Heavyweight Champion in the ring.
Look at that look on his face, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Jericho to go one-on-one with the Miz's rookie Daniel Bryan in our main event next on NXT.
I don't want her to introduce me. I want you to give me the introduction that I deserve right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Wade Barrett. I'm Europe's #1 bare-knuckle fighter. And I've got to say, it is an absolute honor to be paired with a man like Chris Jericho. You know, I don't care where any of you have been, anywhere around the world. This man, Chris Jericho, has been there first, and he's won a title.
I just want you to introduce me.
Have it your way. Ladies and gentlemen, your World Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Chris Jericho.
Well, I have to admit, the NXT rookies have been fairly feisty tonight with the WWE pros, to say the least.
Awesome!
Including this pairing, which kicked us off here tonight.
Remember, The Miz is the mentor, the pro to Daniel Bryan.
Introducing his opponent, from Aberdeen, Washington, weighing 202 pounds, Daniel Bryan.
Miz was leading his rookie to the ring. The rookie took the spotlight, well, for himself. Now remember what Bryan said earlier tonight. He said, I've been in the business twice as long as The Miz. Listen, I don't need anybody to help me out. I can be a star on my own. World Heavyweight Champion Chris Jericho. His NXT rookie, Wade Barrett, at ringside against Daniel Bryan. The Miz is rookie.
Well, Daniel Bryan had no idea that he would be competing against Chris Jericho, the World Heavyweight Champion, in our main event here tonight.
And that was a surprise, and here comes Daniel Bryan off the drop kick, fired up against the World Heavyweight Champion. I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, that the WWE pros in the back heard what Daniel Bryan said to The Miz earlier on tonight.
Oh, all the WWE pros have heard of Daniel Bryan. Everyone has heard of Daniel Bryan. This guy's been competing on the independent scene for 10 years. Daniel Bryan's ready to go in a lot of people's opinions.
I never heard of him until he showed up on NXT.
You've never heard of a lot of stuff either.
And there's Miz, the pro for Daniel Bryan. Hey, you know, ooh, look at this. Chris Jericho, the World Heavyweight Champion, who defends the championship against Edge at WrestleMania.
Well, what's going through Chris Jericho's mind, knowing that in 33 days at WrestleMania, Jericho will go one-on-one with Edge, as he's in here right now with this rookie, Daniel Bryan?
I'll tell you what's going through his mind. Perhaps teaching this rookie some respect. In my mind, in my estimation, Josh, Daniel Bryan did not start things off on the right foot for his relationship with Miz. You can say whatever you want to say about The Miz. He's a loudmouth, but he's a unified tag team champion. He's a United States champion. And the fact of the matter is, this guy, Daniel Bryan, has to show some respect to the WWE
It's
pros.
because you're the Miz of the WWE. The entire WWE universe loathes you, but you come out here every week and you do your job just like The Miz
Look at
does.
this, up over the top. And here's the cover by Bryan in a 2 count. Wow, what an upset that would be. And an enziguri to the back of the head. The point I'm trying to make is Jericho goes into the cover here on Bryan and a kick out. The point I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter who you are, Josh. You got to show some respect.
What if
Daniel
Bryan doesn't want to show the Miz any respect?
Then he's going to get the hell beat out. What's going to happen?
Daniel Bryan's
not going to make it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we understand that Matt Striker's standing by here at ringside for an interview with Chris Jericho's rookie, Mr. Barrett.
Okay, Wade, what are you learning from watching your pro, the world's heavyweight champion, Chris Jericho?
Well, I think the key here is quality. Jericho is quality. He's proved it.
Wade, what are you learning? You're the rookie.
I've already explained to you, I'm learning that this is a quality you require to be the best in the world, and that's exactly what I'm going to get to.
Bryan sidestepping the world champion, and Chris Jericho stunned for a moment, and here comes the rookie Bryan.
Great insight by Wade Barrett.
Well, there you go. There's another guy, shows up in the locker room, over here running his mouth. And look at, sliding underneath goes Bryan. Chris Jericho. Oh, nice takedown by Bryan, who considers himself a submission specialist. At least that's what he told us earlier.
Daniel Bryan, world-renowned for his ground and pound attack.
Here's the hook of the leg, shoulders down on Jericho. World-renowned? What are you talking about? What world are you talking about? He's been on the independent scene. It's the first time he's ever been on television.
Go on the internet. You can learn all about Daniel Bryan.
So because he's wrestled in a he's wrestled in a high school gym in front of 50
look
people.
At that.
Okay, he was impressive there. But you like the rest of these internet guys, tweeting and blogging and believing in what you read on the dirt sheets. And look at this, Bryan into the cover, hook of the leg, Jericho in trouble,
you think
and a kick out.
You think Chris Jericho's becoming a believer right now in Daniel Bryan? You think the WWE Universe is becoming a believer in Daniel Bryan?
What I think is Chris Jericho is a 6-time world champion. He's a 9-time Intercontinental champion. He deserves a little bit of respect.
There's no question about it. Chris Jericho, I believe when Chris Jericho says that he's the best in the world at what he does, that you have to respect that.
And Bryan almost begging Jericho to come back into the ring. Daniel Bryan is rolling him against the world champion. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if we caught it on camera, but we were right here. Chris Jericho caught Bryan and delivered him rib first into the edge of the announce table.
Yeah, at about 65 miles per hour.
But watch Jericho. You see what Jericho did there? Chris Jericho with a great counter. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the difference between the experience of the pro Jericho and the rookie Daniel Bryan. Look at the welt building on the kidney area of Bryan.
There you see the damage inflicted to Daniel Bryan, but it almost looked like Bryan fed off of that call, and Bryan fired up right here.
Oh, look at Bryan got caught by Jericho. Chris Jericho trying to roll Daniel Bryan over onto his belly, into the walls of Jericho, and Bryan with a great counter. Into a submission maneuver of his own. Jericho's in trouble. Jericho's in trouble. Will the champion tap out? Jericho needs to make it to the rope. A monumental upset. And look at Jericho finally forcing the break. And Josh, I do have to admit, I'm fairly impressed with Daniel Bryan thus far.
Monumental upset is an absolute understatement.
Breaker. Bryan got caught. Took a little bit too much time going back on the attack after Jericho made it to the ropes. And the veteran Chris Jericho capitalized. But a performance like this by Daniel Bryan has got to be resonating in the minds of these NXT rookies watching in the back.
Let's not forget this is a competition between these NXT rookies, and Daniel Bryan is making an impression.
Walls of Jericho. Hey, look at this. Look, he's got the knee.
Tapped out. He tapped.
Yeah, Bryan taps out. He had no choice there, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Jericho. Victorious.
The winner, the World Heavyweight Champion, Chris Jericho.
Well, Barrett and Jericho with a nice start to their relationship. The Miz and Bryan, not so nice on their end. What the?
This is some mentoring by the Miz.
I guess in Miz's mind, beating a little bit of respect into his NXT rookie.
Disrespect me, huh? I'm a champion. I'm the bro. You're the rookie. You're the rookie.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt that The Miz was embarrassed by his rookie here tonight on this inaugural edition of NXT. But this was earlier in the matchup. Daniel Bryan held his own with the world champion Chris Jericho.
Yes, he did. And I don't understand how you can say that The Miz was embarrassed by Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan almost made the world heavyweight champion Chris Jericho tap out, Cole.
Well, I understand that, ladies and gentlemen, but Daniel Bryan, I agree with The Miz, has the personality to make paint dry. And you see Jericho with the walls of Jericho teaching some respect to Daniel Bryan. But then afterward, The Miz had heard enough. He wanted to slap some personality into Bryan here tonight, and he did more than that. The Miz setting an example for all these rookies here on NXT.